Now, if you're a survival horror fan like I am, the PlayStation 2 was probably the best video game console for that style of game. Now, I think we all can agree that we can quantify a good game if it makes you happy. If it puts a smile on your face, you're probably going to come back for more. Likewise, you can probably define a bad game by frustration and annoyance. But what about the other emotions, like fear or sadness? Now, I'm not a sad guy, I actually am pretty happy, but I like to be scared, and I'm really compelled by things that can actually make me sad. Now, even though Rule of Rose is officially a survival horror title, I don't consider it scary in the slightest. And that probably has to do with the fact that a lot of the antagonists in this game are children or monsters based on children. And that doesn't scare me. Now, to give you a background, I've played the first 5 Resident Evil games, plus a lot of the games that branched out from that series, like the Gun Survivor game and whatnot. I've played the first Fatal Frame, I played the first 4 Silent Hill games, and I can honestly say the only games that actually scared me were Silent Hill 2. I was not a fan of Silent Hill 1. I did play it all the way through. I know a lot of people love that game, but it really didn't frighten me, and that might have to do with the PlayStation 1 visuals on that game. But Silent Hill 2 and Fatal Frame 1 actually frightened me. None of the Resident Evil games scared me at all. Also, I have to mention that the final boss battle in the original Manhunt was a little unnerving. But that's probably because growing up I felt that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the most scary movie I had ever seen, the original. So Rule of Rose doesn't scare me, but it makes me sad. It really invokes emotion in me. And for that reason, I think it's an excellent game. Now, the game does deal with some tragedy and some taboos. And again, I consider myself generally a very happy guy, so I don't wallow in things like that. But it's a very interesting journey to play this game. Now, I don't want to give away too much about the game, but when I was playing it, I really wanted to continue to find out more about why all of this was going on. And that's a mark of a good game. And again, like I said, the game actually made me very sad. By the end, I had a lot of empathy for these children. Now, even though I really think it's a good game, it is flawed. The level design could use some work. It is typical of survival horror games of that era where you would have to do basically fetch quests and solve puzzles. Unfortunately, there are areas in this game where you have to go from one end of the map to the other and then back again. Also, the combat system in this game could use some work. Now, obviously, the protagonist in this game is a young female in her late teens, and she's probably not used to fighting, so that's fine. However, the hit detection in this game is off. You can actually have a clear shot at an enemy and it won't register, and that's sometimes frustrating. But at the end of the day, if you're going in for a survival horror game, gameplay mechanics aren't really the reason why you came to play. You came for an experience, you came to be moved, and I think Rule of Rose delivers on that. From the soundtrack, to the actual storyline, to the end level. Now, if you get the good ending of this game, you get to play a bonus level where it actually explains a lot in the game, and I really think that's a great idea. It's somewhat of an interactive ending where you can go and search around and answer some of the unanswered questions that you might have had in the game. And that level, to me, was the most moving of them all, because there's a lot of nostalgia going on in that level. And again, it really just made me sad. Now, there are some things that will make some people uncomfortable in this game, and they're definitely not glorified. It's just a way to tell a story, and some of the prime things that actually make you sad in the game. Now, one of the elements I really loved in this game was your relationship, or the relationship of the protagonist, Jennifer, and her dog, Brown. There's a real connection there, and you definitely feel it in this game. And beyond that, it's a great game mechanic to help you through some tight spots. Because if you don't know where to go, you can give Brown a clue, and he can lead you to the place you need to be. Even though this game had some shortcomings, I really enjoyed it. Now, Rule of Rose was originally released in 2006. It was originally published in territories outside of the United States by Sony, but because of the taboo subjects in the game, they decided not to publish it in the United States and Atlas picked up the reins and actually published it here. Now, it didn't sell well. Originally, when it came out, I bought a copy, because again, I love survival horror games, but I never played it, because that's when I pretty much gave up gaming. So I actually sold my original copy, and I had to repurchase this game on eBay. I got this game for $88 shipped. That's a lot of money for an 8-year-old game, so that shows you how rare it is. Now, I'm not a collector, so I turned around and put this game back up on eBay, and it sold for $127. And I only owned this game for a little over a month. So I made a $40 profit, or almost a $40 profit, a $39 profit on this game. But unfortunately, I'm actually having second thoughts about getting rid of it. But the deal's already done, I gotta send it off. Again, I'm not a collector, but if I ever find the need to play this game again, I will repurchase it, probably for a premium. Now, being that this game was somewhat controversial, I'm not really sure if it's going to get a re-release on the PlayStation Network. It might be something that Sony wants to distance itself from. That's good news for collectors, but bad news for people who want to enjoy this game. So if you haven't played Rule of Rose, I would definitely recommend it if it's the type of game that you like to play. If you have played Rule of Rose, what do you think about it? Tell me about your thoughts in the comments down below. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And as always, if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up, favorite this video, or share this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.